It is Wednesday, November the 20th, 2024. My name is Ricky Stokes, and this is I'm Calling You Out podcast by Ricky Stokes. 8 days away from Thanksgiving, we have a lot to be thankful for, and we'll welcome you in. Last week, we talked about the appointment to the Houston County Hospital Authority, the Southeast Board. And we're not going. That's kind of an old issue now. We're not going to talk a lot about it, but I want to bring something out that this appointment was supposed to have been done last August, but the commission held off on it because of the legislation and the election. The election happened. They made the appointment on Tuesday, and the gentleman that was appointed found out when he was eating lunch. Somebody in the restaurant said, "Hey, congratulations on appointed." He said, "Appointed to what?" The Hospital Authority. And the appointment was by D3 Commissioner Ricky Herring. Now, I want to ask you a question. If you're in charge of hiring, do you hire first and interview second? Or you're in charge of appointing somebody, do you appoint first and then talk to them second? Well, the commission talked about that, there were filler names from the hospital board where they submit three names. Three names that were submitted was Chester Sowell, Lance Shepard, and Neil Holloway. Neil Holloway's a great guy. We knew Commissioner Herring was not going to appoint Chester Sowell, and we already knew when Herring kind of pulled the con on his fellow deacon board member Taylor Knight, he wasn't going to appoint Lance Shepard. So that just left Neil Holloway. But I thought you kind of interview first and talk to him first and then appoint or then hire. But Commissioner Herring on his Facebook on November 13th said, yesterday Neil Holloway was appointed to serve the citizens of District 3 on the Houston County Healthcare Authority. Neil was one of the three names vetted by the board and listed as an option. I had a great conversation with him this morning, and he is excited to go to work. He's a successful businessman, someone who spends a lot of time volunteering on boards and committees across the county. November 13th, 9:42 a.m. The commission meeting was November the 12th. He talked to him afterwards. But he also says this about Chester, and he must have taken something to make him have to say this. He said, I also want to thank Chester Sowell for his 25-plus years of service to the hospital. He was a part of some of the best seasons of the hospital and its growth across the county. And that was November 13th, and it says at 9:42 a.m. Central Standard Time, which was on Wednesday following their meeting on November the 12th. And they talked to him around 9 a.m. on that morning is my understanding. But, I think he did it backwards from the way you're supposed to do it. But, hey, it's the reason they're elected and I'm not. Now, also, the county commissioners, and I hate to keep harping on the county commissioners, but I'm just sorry. It is what it is. I'm going to be honest with you about them. I'm going to be honest with you about on issues. And when they talk about me, I'm going to be honest with you about those talks they say about me. But they got the sheriff in a lawsuit back on October the 21, 2024, because the sheriff went to them for two budget years, about some money to fix the locks on the doors because the inmates were able to unlock the doors and get out. Now, the commission refused to do it, and what's interesting about that is one of the commissioners is a captain with the sheriff's office that used to be the captain over the Houston County Jail, so he knew about the locks. But they did not give the sheriff the locks for 2 years in a row, and the sheriff yesterday, when I wrote the story yesterday, was 45 inmates over capacity. The jail will hold 379 inmates. And they're 45 over capacity. They got inmates sleeping on the floor. And it's a real challenge about keeping it safe and keeping the inmates locked up when they can pick the locks on the doors. Plus, there's a problem in keeping a staff in the jail. That your staff, you have a big turnover in staff. But anyway, on February 14th, 2024, an inmate was brutally assaulted by two inmates who were able to leave their cell doors due to faulty cell door locks. After the assault, the inmate was taken by Pilcher's ambulance to Southeast Health and then airlifted by survival flight to UAB in Birmingham, Alabama, where he underwent surgery for a broken jaw and treatment for a broken nose and damage in his chin. The Houston County Commission is an elective board comprised of 5 commissioners. At all relevant times, the Houston County Commission administered the county's finances and was responsible for ensuring a safe, secure, and well-administered structure of the Houston County Jail. The Houston County Commission, which includes 2 deputy sheriffs, is responsible for adopting a budget that includes reasonable expenditures for the safe operation of the county jail, including expenses for secure and properly functioning cell doors. Now I'm reading from the lawsuit in federal court, in the United States federal court, Middle District of Alabama. So them not funding this had an inmate get hurt and had to be life flighted through survival flight to UAB hospital, and lawsuit. Now, Alabama State Representative Paul Lee secured from the budget $1 million for repair of the locks at the jail. So thank you, Paul Lee. Thank you, Sheriff Valenza, for getting with State Representative Paul Lee, since the county commissioners wouldn't solve this problem. Now, the commissioners took $800,000 last year out of Sheriff Valenza's budget. Snatched it out of his budget. Okay, and they gave raises to everybody but the ones having to guard and take care of this at the jail, where they won't fix the locks and they can get out and assault the correctional officers or the inmates. They didn't give them a raise, but you can rest assured that the county commissioners that are deputy sheriffs, they did get a raise, a cost of living raise. But they left the ones at the jail out. And Sheriff Valenza went over to the jail and said, I'm deeply sorry. I'm sorry. I tried. I'm not in charge of that. But Valenza is very tenderhearted about it because he started as a correctional officer. So he knows what they're going through. And it bothered him that they were not included in the raise, but he had no choice. Another county that gets less money than we get, and their property values are less than ours, they gave their sheriff a $1.3 million increase. But this county took $800,000 from the sheriff and didn't give the correctional deputies raises. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the format some on Ricky Stokes News in the future. We're going to bring you more local news. That's something that we're going to be missing with some of the Tri-States News. I call them follow, where they say they're the leader. But they're combining with WSFA, and a 30-minute newscast is really 22 minutes to cover news, sports, and weather in the 22 minutes. But we're going to start trying to cover more local news stories and local coverage because you're more interested in what happens locally than what happens 2 hours away from here. Okay? So bear with us. We need your help. You text Ricky at 334-790-1729 with news information. If you can snap pictures and send them to her, it helps out. If you see things happening, text Ricky. And if you can snap a picture, text Ricky. And when you see these so-called leaders and commissioners out at places and with people, if you can snap a picture and send it to me, because you never know what that piece of information may lead us into knowing. So you're my eyes and ears. Again, 334-790-1729. When you see them out, take their picture. When you see something happening, take their picture. Send it to me or shoot me a text who you see and what they're doing. Thank you. It's Ricky Stokes for Ricky Stokes News. Have a good day.